Today is HG Awareness Day. HG is Hyperemesis Gravidarum, and it is basically morning sickness on steroids. It is unrelenting. It isn't morning sickness that gets better with ginger or with rest or with 8 weeks. It is nonstop and it is debilitating, and oftentimes it needs medical attention. I have had 4 HG pregnancies, so I have become quite the expert. My pregnancies, unfortunately, got progressively worse with HG for each one, but don't worry, if you are pregnant or have had an HG pregnancy, there is still hope for you. I know people who've had one HG pregnancy and then they never had another after that. I just got the short straw in the pregnancy HG cup, but that's okay because I got 4 beautiful babies out of it. But I wanted to come up with a video of 10 tips to help you if you have HG or know someone going through HG that might help you, that I found helpful after 4 pregnancies for myself. So number 1 is to find something to be grateful for. It's not easy, especially when you're feeling awful, to think of something that you're grateful about. So I encourage you to find something, anything, every day to be thankful for. It might be a TV show that you're binge watching. It might be that your socks are matching that day. I don't care what it is. Just find one thing that will switch your brain over to that gracious mode of just out of the self-pity that you can get stuck in, because I know I've been there, just to find that thing that you can be grateful for that day. Number 2 is to take things one day at a time, even 1 hour at a time. It is a long 9, who are we kidding? It's really 10 months that you were pregnant. So go slower. Don't be so hard on yourself. I know a lot of people like to plan ahead, this month, that month. What's my baby doing? It's okay to go 1 day at a time. I know I had to go 1 hour at a time some days, and that's okay too. Whatever it takes to get through the day is what you need to do. Number 3, I would say, is to get the right help. Having the right doctor or team is crucial to getting through HG. I was fortunate enough to have doctors that might not have known the most, but were willing to listen to me and to work with me to help me. So I encourage you, as daunting as that might sound, maybe you need to switch to another practice or find another doctor, but I encourage you to find someone who's really going to listen to you and help you, because it is critical for this. Number 4 is to find the right medicines. I am not a doctor. I am not saying any kind of advice about medicine or what medicine to take or how many doses, but I can say that finding the right medicine for me was huge. For each pregnancy, I took a medicine called Zofran, but the way that I took it with each pregnancy changed. I took pills for the first, dissolvables for the second, but by the 3rd and 4th pregnancies, I needed a constant IV drip of it. So the way that I actually took the medicine made a huge difference for my body. So I encourage you, if you're struggling with a medicine, that maybe there's another way of taking it that you can ask your doctor about that might work better for you. Number 5 is to be your own advocate. This is hard, especially when you aren't feeling well. You might want to be cuddled up on the couch or even laying on the floor. The last thing you want to do is to be fighting for something, but you need to. You need to be your own advocate sometimes to get things to help you. I learned that by pregnancy number 4, I got home health care, which wasn't easy to get, and I needed to ask for it a lot and make a lot of phone calls, even when feeling horrible. It was not fun. But I couldn't be going to the ER for liquids, and I couldn't be, stopping to go for a doctor's appointment multiple times a week when I couldn't even drive. So I worked really hard to get home health care to bring IVs to me, which was huge. So I encourage you to, if you're feeling stuck, to look at what other options, even if no one tells you that they're out there, to find them. The Her Foundation is a great foundation to look at resources and to find out about what options and things are out there for you where you live. Number 5, I would say, is it's okay to say, no, that was number 5. Number 6, it's okay to say no. You might be invited to places you might not want to go, and it's okay. You can't do everything. So you might miss your cousin's wedding or a best friend's something, but it's okay to say no, because right now you really need to put yourself first. And it's hard during this time. So know that it's okay and that you need to do what you need to get yourself through this. Which leads me to number 7 is go easy on yourself. This is not going to look like your typical pregnancy. I always had visions of being this really cute, glowing pregnant woman in a beautiful dress. I was not that woman. After my meds kept me stable and not getting sick anymore, I went from losing a lot of weight to gaining a lot of weight. I actually gained 85 pounds with each of my children with each pregnancy, because once I was able to keep the food down, I still couldn't move. So I became like a sumo wrestler, and I sat and ate for 9 months and gain 85 pounds with each child. So take it easy on yourself. You will have all the time after to get back to how your body was, but just be easy on how it looks, whether it's too big, too small, it's okay. Also be easy on yourself. You might have the mom guilt. I know I did. With my first, when I got pregnant with my second, I didn't know what to do. I would put him in the bathtub next to me while I was laying on the bathroom floor. Don't worry, he would not in water, with toys, just so he was safe and entertained. And I felt guilty, but then I realized he's with me and he's okay. It's not the vision of what you thought, but it's okay. And once you get rid of the mom guilt and realize that it's going to be okay, that will help you. Number 8 is try not to feel lonely. It is hard and lonely going through this, but there are groups and things out there to help you. I know I had a lot of supportive friends who wanted to come over, and I love them, but I just couldn't be around people. I couldn't go anywhere. I didn't want anyone coming over. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to see anyone. So I was really lonely my first few pregnancies. By the 4th pregnancy, I found through the Her Foundation a Facebook group that connected other people who are inflicted with HG, and I would scroll through at all hours and of the day and night and just connect with people, whether getting a tip, giving a tip, just knowing that there's someone else out there going through exactly what I was going through helped me to get through this, because it can be very lonely and isolating, especially if you don't have people around you who understand about it. Number 9 tip I would say is to ask for help. That was not an easy one for me at first. I am a type A personality, so asking for help doesn't come naturally to me. And I've learned that it was a huge, huge help when I finally did, that there were people there who wanted to help me with the laundry and wanted to help pick up the kids or drop the kids or do things that I couldn't do. So once I learned to ask for help, that was a huge relief off of me, and a relief for some of my friends too, I know, who wanted to help and didn't know what to do. So the fact that they could help, knowing that I was having such a hard time, was helpful for them too. So I encourage you to ask for help if you're lucky enough to have a support system around you who is willing to help you with that. Number 10 would be to tell yourself that you can do this. As strange as that might sound at times, but to look in the mirror every day and to remind yourself that you're going to get through this. It is seemingly like in never-ending time, and it does. It seems like time just stops when you have HG, and it's just never going to end, but it is going to end. And there's only, a certain amount of months that you're going to feel that miserable, and eventually that baby's going to come out. And when it does, you are going to be so happy, and it will be so worth it. So just hang in there if you're going through it right now. And if you've gone through it, you know exactly what I mean, that it is not easy, but it is so worth it. And there's so much more that I could talk about. I could spend hours after going through this. But what do you have, any advice, tips that you've had, horror stories that you've had? I can make a whole video on that you'd love to share with others. I'd love to hear from other HG warrior moms to see tips and guidance that you would have for others, because this is something that not everybody knows about, but is so important. And I'd love to help as many people as I can and talk about it. Comment below, let me know what you think. And I'd love to make some more videos and talk more about this that needs more light shed on it.